A warm welcome to you all to this Audacious Leaders MO podcast system. We're so delighted today to have Doug Fine with us. And hey, Doug, I'm over in Michigan, surrounded by plenty of fresh water. How about you?
Hey, Dr. Nancy. I'm down in Augusta, Georgia. And the only fresh water we have here is going to the Augusta National. The rest of it's mediocre.
Well, it's great to have you join us today.
Thank you
what
so
we're going
much.
to do is we're going to cover some fabulous material, and we're going to do it in under 10 minutes. So let me just tell you a little bit about Doug. He's spent 25 years doing organizational development work, following 10 years as a naval officer. Now his specialty is delivering engagement training to leaders and their teams nationwide, to those who are wise enough that they know they need his services.
That's good.
So, what we're going to do today is talk about Doug's magic model, how to stimulate 5-star performance with research-proven competencies that hardwires personal ownership, original thinking, and a customer focus into the culture in just 9 minutes.
9 minutes.
So, here we go. We're going to start the timer now. I'll let you know how we're doing.
Okay.
And we'll begin. Here we go. All right. So, Doug, who is your ideal client?
My ideal client is a company that has at least 10 or 15 leaders and up to 100 employees. The class I deliver is the minimum I would teach would be 15 people. If it's a number of leaders and employees, basically 10 leaders and up to 100 employees. That's my ideal, but I could also scale up if I need to.
And they're in the room together?
Actually, that's debatable. I think I'm going to leave that up to the client. And if they want their leaders in with the employees, that's fine. On the other hand, if they want it the other way, I do it that way.
Yeah, excellent. So you can customize according to their preference. All right. So just over 8 minutes left. What is the problem you solve?
The problem I solve is sort of the national employment crisis called engagement, where there are all kinds of people saying how low it is in most companies these days. I don't subscribe to it's only 20% are engaged. I think there's a different way of looking at engagement, but in general, we don't have enough engagement at work. And that's what that means is people that are regularly going above and beyond in their daily work for their company or their organization. That's kind of how I view engagement. But we have an issue. It's over and over again. You see it, and that's what I'm here to do, to help organizations ramp up and amp up their engagement.
Excellent. And you have a way to measure that too, I imagine.
I do, actually, yeah. I'm certified to provide surveys for organizations before or after the training.
Excellent. So while these folks in the companies, whether it's the employees or the leaders, while they're struggling with issues around engagement, maybe noticing that they have that going on, what are some of the typical experiences or symptoms that they might have?
Well, I think someone might be making judgments about effort, about follow through, about original thinking, innovative thinking, trying different things, giving suggestions, letting managers know, I wish we could think about doing it this way. If that's not happening, that's a pretty good sign that the employees or the team members are not where they need to be in terms of engagement. And at the same time, if they're not engaged, more than likely it's the manager that is contributing to the lack of engagement of their people. So that's why in the training that I do, it's definitely delivered to managers and employees, leaders and employees.
Yeah. So if people aren't showing those signs of going above and beyond, then you begin to think about difficulties with engagement. And what are the things that they notice? Well, let me ask that a little bit different. Like, what might they be experiencing? What might clue them in to the fact that they've got an issue with engagement? And then what are some of the common mistakes that they make as they try to address that?
Great question. I think turnover is one metric that most organizations pay attention to, or at least measure. And if turnover is above average, and there's ways to find out by industry what turnover is, if turnover is above average and people and the good people, the high performers are looking to leave, and that's a good sign that there's an issue with engagement in the organization. Your second question?
So what are some of the common mistakes that leaders or managers might make as they try to address that engagement issue?
Well, I think a lot of it comes down to like random acts of engagement where they're not really sound. They don't have sound information or knowledge about what engagement really is. So I'm sure someone's going to bring up pizza. You know, that's the kind of thing that companies that don't know what engagement is are going to do all kinds of things that may or may not work. And some of them may be laughable. And you're not going to get engagement from people laughing at things that you tried to do to engage them. So I think companies without really true knowledge, and the engagement I teach is research proven. Like what makes for engagement. I hope I have a second to cover that.
Yes, we've got just under 4 minutes. So, and this is the most interesting, right? Because it is such a hot topic today in different companies.
Do you mind if I talk about the model?
Go ahead.
Well, look right behind me, it says magic. And magic's, it's not the word magic, it's the letters that make up magic. And the letters that make up magic stand for meaning, autonomy, growth, impact, and connection. And if those things are high, in other words, there's ways to measure that. If those 5 things are high, you're going to have a fully engaged employee, a fully engaged leader. If they're low, the chances are you're going to have let's say an opportunity group, let's say a fully disengaged person. So that's how it's done. And there's a lot to say about each of those letters. But that's for another day, and that's for the class that I deliver to organizations.
So part of your point is if they don't understand the 5 components of engagement, they won't know how to address it, and they'll just throw random acts into the air and try to get engagement, but not likely to be successful because they don't really know what they're going after.
Nancy, say it for me. That was beautiful. I appreciate that because that's exactly right.
Great. So what is one valuable free action that the audience can implement that will help them solve that problem, or at least take them one step further in that direction?
Well, that's a great question. And I have something that is so cool and so specific for individuals to accomplish. And at my website, and it's DougJFine.com, I have a link that says free stuff. And on that page, the very first thing they'll see is a self-assessment. It's an online self-assessment that is going to take about 10 minutes, no more than 10 minutes, that is going to spit out, so to speak, digitally spit out that individual's engagement level, like what of the 4 levels, and the 4 levels are fully engaged, key contributor, opportunity group, or fully disengaged. You're going to land somewhere on that continuum. The second thing it does, it says how high are you or low are you on those 5 competencies. So that's a cool thing that someone can actually see. All right, this is what I'm doing. And if they're the kind of company with a team that they're willing to engage the topic of engagement, everybody on a team could do it, and that could just get the discussion started. So that's an awesome giveaway. The other thing, so that's free. None of the data is kept. It's free. It's easy, and you actually get immediate results to find where you are in engagement.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, Doug, what is the one question I should have asked you but didn't? And the answer.
How much time do we have?
23 seconds.
Ooh, I think that you did a great job covering what we needed to talk about, what I wanted to talk about, the 5 things and the free giveaway, and a valuable giveaway, actually.
All right, so let's just say that again for folks who are
sure.
listening. It is DougJFine.com.
Yeah, and there's a link that says free stuff, and I'd love people to go on and get the conversation started about engagement.
Excellent.
Sure.
Well, thanks so much, Doug. Great to have you on the show.
Time together, Nancy.
You bet.
Take care.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.